Hey guys, so my name is Chiwendu and
my name is Farah.
And as you guys know, I've been posting for the past first term videos on YouTube about my life in UWC, and therefore I just asked myself, why not just do a sit-down video where I explain to you guys what UWC is and answer questions that many of you have sent me through DM on Instagram. But first, let me do an introduction. I'm Chiwendu, I'm from Nigeria, I'm 17 years old, and I'm currently in UWC ADVICE in Germany. And
I'm Farah from Tunisia. I'm also 17 and yeah, we're floor mates. So UWC is an international boarding school. It hosts the International Baccalaureate Systems, which is a 2-year program. Students study and live on campus. And the goal is to bring nations and cultures together for a better, sustainable future. Or so the mission says.
So basically an amazing school. You guys all apply.
What is UWC looking for / what do you think helped you get accepted?
Yeah, what helps you get in my opinion, is just to be passionate about something that you really care about, and also to genuinely be a good person. And yeah, just be yourself, because at the end of the day, you don't have to be perfect. There's no perfect formula you can do. There's nothing you can do to make your chance higher or lower to get in. Just be yourself, and I promise you,
if it's meant to be, it will happen.
Period.
Okay, next question following up on that is, do you have any tips for the essay section? I would give as a tip for the essay section is not to be afraid of going personal. This one question of, is there something that shaped you growing up? And I was trying to brainstorm ideas to write, and I came across one entry in my diary, and it was just like how I wanted to do better things for myself in the future. And I don't know, it was something very, very personal. And what I ended up doing was I literally copy-pasted and then edited the entry.
Really?
Yeah, and it was my proudest essay that I've written. But yeah, don't be afraid to be a bit vulnerable, but obviously don't make them worried about you or something like that.
Yeah, please do not make them worried about
you.
That you do not want.
How were the interviews and what kind of questions did they bring, both in the individual interviews and group interviews?
First disclaimer, it's always dependent on the NC. Personally, I applied through the German NC because I've been living in Germany for the past 5 years, and she applied through the Tunisian because this girl never left her country before. So yeah, anyways, but for the German NC, it's how you said it. There's got individual interview and a group interview. So for the individual interview, what I can tell you is that personally, in my opinion, you cannot really prepare for it, at least for the German one, because they're just questions about the essays you would just get to know it better. Because like the essays, there were like 600 word limits, and you can't really go completely deep into it. And then with the interview, they dive into it for 20-30 minutes. For me personally, as far as I said, I wrote about something very personal. So question prompt was just, what is one moment in your life that changed you forever? And I just wrote about something really emotional for me and something really attached to me. And during the interview, I actually cried because it's very personal to me. So yeah, and now you asked me questions, and I was just crying. They were answering me, do you want to go forward? I was like, yeah. I was crying and answering the question. Just answer honestly. That's what I'm saying. Just answer honestly. And for the group interviews, what I can tell you, be yourself and do not compare. After my first, because I had 4 group interviews, after the first one, I cried and I thought, I'm done, I'm not getting accepted to UWC, because everyone was so smart. They were talking about using all these big words, and I was just so insecure at that moment. But what I want to tell you is that you are good, and that the fact that you even got out to this point of interview, it means that you have got UWC potential and you can get accepted. True. So please just believe in yourself and be courageous, and whatever they throw at you during the group interview, do it.
Are there any things you wish you would have known before any stage of the process? Before applying, because I found out about the program like only 10 days before the deadline, which is quite a small time period to decide the next 2 years of your life.
But hey, you still got in.
I mean, I think I didn't anticipate how attached I would get to the application process. And at some point I remember thinking, this is something that I've wanted so much, more than anything that I've seen in my life, and this is something that I felt for the first time I'm doing for my own self. And I remember like during the finalist stage, I was very afraid of not getting in, and I guess it was the first time that failure would have affected me so much. And so I think this is very important to keep in mind for anyone going through the process, is to remember that it's really, at the end of the day, it isn't just about getting in or not. At some point, like when I reflected on it, I was like, the people that I've met through this process and the things that I've learned, I wouldn't have ever experienced unless I actually applied. And so if you're worried that it's too competitive or that it's too hard to get in or that this is not something that you could do, I think still, regardless of the statistics and whether you will get in or not, regardless of the result, it's something worth going through. And even if you don't get in, I think it teaches you in general to accept things in life, and it just makes you a stronger person and more equipped for whatever's going to come.
That you want, don't let anyone's opinion influence you. And also in your essay writing, in your interview, only because someone tell you that in an interview you should say this and this does not mean that you should do that. Do and say what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And before coming to UWC itself, what I wish I would have known, there's nothing that someone could have told me that would have made me not come. I would have like a warning about like how much I would change during this time, because like the amount of things I learn about myself is immense, and it's just a huge learning process. Like when I look at myself in August, and it's only been one term, I can't imagine after the complete 4 terms. When I look at myself back in August before coming to UWC, I just see this little cute little girl that I just want to slap because she was so stupid and innocent. You're gonna change, and you should be ready for that. And this change may make you lose some things of your old life that you like. The friends that you may have been friends with me for years, even, you just maybe grow apart from them, and just be ready to give up your old life.
Yeah. So is a question from Blimin. Blimin asks, is there a Korean at RBC?
Yeah, there are 3 Koreans.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are they Koreans?
Moving on from that, we want to know what subjects are available at RBC.
So there is a range of subjects available, and yeah, you can look on the website if the ones in UWC Germany and also in other UWCs which subjects are available. We'll just tell you guys now which subjects we took and which level, higher level, standard level. So you start?
Okay, so I'm taking Arabic, Arabic SL, English HL, hopefully, Math AAHL, Physics HL, Econ SL, and ESS, which is only available at SL.
Okay, and I'm taking German B higher level, Bio HL, Chem HL, Math SL, English ASL, and Econ SL.
Everyone forgets Econ.
Everyone forgets
Oh my
Econ.
God.
So yeah, but there's a lot of subject, like there's, what did we mention?
You can also have
visual arts.
Oh yeah, the arts. I want to insert a note about all the people that are worried about physics, math, AAHL. God for them. For all my Tunisians out there, I will reassure you, it's as hard as the Tunisian system. So it's kind of bad that it's the same level hardness, but you will manage. But yeah, in general, it's just the IB in general. I think it's just about the effort you're willing to put in, which is hard to balance in the context of a UWC, and everything that you have to do for UWC in general, and just living in a boarding school, I guess. How is the financial aid at UWC?
So UWC works as well. Again, this depends on the NC where you come from.
This is from our own experiences. Yeah.
From our own, and also what we've heard. Like some NCs, they only give full scholarships. Like, yeah, even if you're a multimillionaire daughter, you get a full scholarship because that's how they operate. In Germany, for example, and how things is also in most countries, is that like it depends on your parents' income. For example, if your parents can afford 30% of the school fees, they only pay this 30%. And if they can afford maybe 50 or even 100%, they have to pay those 100%. And they can't just give you a full ride scholarship even though your parents can afford it. That's how it is in Germany.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same in Tunisia actually, except most people in Tunisia can't afford it anyway. So you just end up getting close to full scholarships. For me personally, the tuition is fully paid. I just want to give this out because I know a lot of people ask me about this personally. I pay for my own pocket money and like flights and things like that, but it really depends, like Chuanda said, on your family income. So there's a lot of papers, for us at least, that you have to submit.
Financial part of UWC should never stop from applying, because
definitely
they are, as Farah said before, they want you to get in, and they'll try their best to pay as much as they possibly can and how it's reasonable.
I think it's also important to mention at UWC itself there is a lot of financial aid that you can get when you need it. Like for example, for winter break, when we needed like to get payment for our COVID tests and stuff, they can offer to pay you those, obviously to a limited extent. If you can easily afford it, then likely you won't get it, but so they offer a lot of opportunity to help you when you need financial assistance. How to convince your parents to send you to AWC if you get accepted. I'm gonna give in the other perspective of having your hardcore strict parents. As a MENA girl, ooh, love it. Anyway, so I was basically practically raised only I lived more in the suburbs, so it was an okay place. It wasn't like too far away, but generally like where I lived, I didn't really go outside very often, and even staying away from home, I was always with my family. I never even had a sleepover with a friend.
Same.
Before RBC.
Never.
And like my parents were super strict basically, even with just going out. So obviously it didn't come as a shock that when I just told my mom, she was like, hell no, get out of just no, you know. And for me, I knew it wasn't like a new idea as well, of wanting to go abroad. I had vaguely mentioned it, but everyone was expecting that it would happen after high school and not when you're just 16 at the time. So when I first mentioned it, she was totally against it. And what I thought at that moment is, obviously I also had 10 days just to figure it all out.
It's true.
So you can imagine the situation, you know. But I felt like it was something that I had to do for myself, at least to try it out. Obviously at that first stage you don't even know if you'll get in or not, or if you will get to a further stage. But at that time I felt like it was something that I had to do for myself. And just the feeling of, like Chimando said, like you wanted to do something further and not just stay in your own bubble, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I knew that was what I wanted to do. And my mom didn't really understand it at first. And I think that's reasonable also, because your parents don't know the same passion that you have. They don't share the same feelings that you may have. And they're obviously going to be protective since it's a very new idea from what they had for the past 16 years or 17 or 18 of your life. So what happened was that I told her about it, and I just got to the point where she said, do whatever you want and we'll see later. And I was like, okay, that's enough for me. And I went and applied. And I think over time, your parents seeing your passion and seeing that this is what makes you happy and this is what you want to do, hopefully over time they begin to open up. And at the last stage, I think it becomes very much easier once you're past. So yeah. And
just some general advice, you can like show them videos of UWC. Or give them like contact that they can contact. For example, there were like many like parent help session things for like parents to talk about their worries about sending their kids. They have got all those things. Just contact your country NC and tell them if they've got things like that. Just show them videos, show them blogs, give them the advertisement paper of UWC. Show them that is a good thing and not just some. That's what people thought. People, when I told them about UWC, they thought it was like a scam. And it was like it's something weird.
It's not a scam, guys. We're actually
it's not a scam. So just show that it's real. Show them my vlog.
Show them her vlogs.
Show them all the vlogs of UWC, not even only RBC. Show that it's a good thing. Or if maybe can contact people from your coach that went to UWC, definitely maybe get them to talk to your parents or things like that. Just show them that it's real and that you're dedicated and really want this.
Tunisians, you can, or North Africans, I support my North African community. If you need any advice, you can always text either of us. Anyone you can find from UWC's. People are generally open to...
her Instagram name.
Shout out, plug in, you know. Generally people from UWC's are very open. We're just busy, so sometimes I think this is something you'll hear in most UWC videos, but
people are busy.
We will answer eventually. And we
maybe after 2 months.
But we answer, so okay.
But I'm always on Instagram, so always DM me. I procrastinate on Instagram.
We're avoiding. We're avoiding math, physics. Christ. Anyway, okay, so that's for the application questions. We still have some questions about life at UWC.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first question is, what makes UWC unique? / I might rephrase this into, what do you like about this place? For me, it was something that I always wanted to do, and it just opened a lot of opportunities for meeting great people, and I think like-minded people as well, because everyone kind of shares this passion for this place for the most part, and it's just really a wholesome community to be part of, and you really feel the community sense, like whether it be in your house or in classes, or generally when you go to eat, you feel like you can sit with anyone, for example, and it just feels like a very supportive environment. I think it's also important to say here that it's not really for everyone.
No, please don't think that it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, and it's a hard place to adjust to, and it's very common that people leave. So it's so overwhelming at times. There's so many things that you need to keep up with, and so much growth that can happen at once, and it can be a bit too much and maybe not the right thing at this point in your life. Next question, we only have 2 questions left. How do you deal with homesickness, especially if you've traveled far across continents or something like that?
Okay, so as I said, I live in Germany. That means I didn't travel across continents or countries, but still, even though I lived here, I felt homesick, obviously, because it was my first time away from home. What I can say is just that when you feel homesick, just do things that remind you of home. At least that's what helped. Doing that not only when I was up to the point that I'm really homesick, but doing it regularly. And what that meant for me is like maybe every day when I got ready for school, I would listen to Nigerian music, because that's what reminded me of home. Because at home would always listen to music. There's always music running on the television. Cooking Nigerian food, just even if it's not just food I'm used to from home, because like the food you eat here Mensa is not what you used to from home.
No.
Like half this food I've never even heard of them before coming here. So yeah, just do things.
I think even the Germans are shook by the food.
Yeah. Just and make your room home. Make it somewhere you want to feel comfortable in, and talk to your parents and your family. Some people talk to their parents once a month, some people talk to their parents once a week. Personally, I talk to my parents at least 5 times a week. Like they're just short conversations, maybe like 3-5 minutes. Okay, my dad is usually 3-5 minutes, my mom is like usually 20 minutes, but still, like I talk to both of them because like I found the time for them, because they're part of my life. They were part of my life, and I wanted to be part of my life, and that's what made me not feel homesick.
I don't really have much to add to that. I think bring lots of food.
Please do. I beg you, bring food.
Bring food. And especially if you're coming to RBC, don't worry too much about the clothes. No. Don't worry too much about like shampoo and things like that.
Towel. Don't even bring a towel.
Don't bring a towel. Don't bring bedding unless it's like something specific that really reminds you of home. That question.
Last question.
Do you have any plans for your life / university after UWC?
Kidding.
That's about it.
Farah, what you wanna do after UWC? You guys just stop the video and try to guess what this girl wants to do with physics and math higher level. I promise you, the English higher level is just there for nothing. She's just doing it for fun at this point. The math and physics.
Just to balance it out for my mental health.
The math and physics. Guess what she wants to be.
And the answer is, you guessed it correctly, selling hot dogs on the streets of New York. No. Anyway, I might do engineering.
She's 100% gonna do engineering. If this
plan is hopefully engineering, somewhere with accessible financial aid. And just as a reassurance, don't worry about what happens after UWC too much. You have counselors here, so you have like a lot of assistance, a lot of guidance. The university counselors are very knowledgeable about what's out there. Yes. Like you just tell them what you need and they can help you out.
They're experts.
So yeah.
Maybe this person asked because of application, because for example in my question they asked me where do I see myself in 10 years, and maybe some people will connect that to like job. Personally, just write something you're feeling at that moment. Like I'm not telling you to lie, but maybe just write a story, like really a story, okay? Like what I wrote is that I want to be a lawyer. Why did I say that? Is because I'm talkative, and I don't know, I was watching Legally Blonde at that moment and I felt like being a lawyer. Like, don't even ask me. Does an ounce of me want to be a lawyer now, just 1 year after sending off the application? No, I do not want to be a lawyer. Like, no. Back to the original question. And what I want after UWC? Personally, I'm taking bio and chemistry high level because I want to study something around biology, chemistry. I don't really know exactly what, to be honest. Like, I'm thinking maybe like biochemistry, pharmacy, or nursing, just something around that time, and I'm just gonna tell my university counselor what I'm thinking, and hopefully he has answers for me. And so yeah. Basically, guys, this was the NFL video. I hope you guys liked it, and yeah,
make sure to like and subscribe.
Whatever. She'll be a star guest because she's my floor mate, and if she does not want to be in videos, I will just video in her room while she's sleeping because I'm always here anyways.
Totally not creepy.
But
it's
yeah.
fine, guys.
But guys,
this is with my consent.
UWC, yeah, it's with consent. Please do not do stuff without consent. I beg you, especially not to UWC. Do not.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, UWC is good, has bad side, but if it's for you, you come, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and then live your
Best
life.
of luck in
baby.
your applications, people.
Yes.
You can do it. Don't stress it.
Message us, text us whenever. We're there for you guys because yeah, we got accepted, so why shouldn't we help you get
Yeah,
accepted?
if we got through, you'll manage.